We're finally here. It's taken weeks and months and many videos. We're finally at the final five. The final five on MovieFilm's 100 greatest movies list. Here we go. In at number 5, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. The 2004 Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet film, directed by Michael Gondry, might be a surprise inclusion in the top 5. But if you've seen this movie, you know just how spectacular this movie is. One of the most unique rom-coms? Rom-dramas, I guess. It's a romantic film, it's a comedy film, it's a dramatic film, and it's even got a little bit of sci-fi in there. Arguably, and in my opinion, definitely, Jim Carrey's best performance. A true icon of cinema, Jim Carrey never puts in a bad performance, really. If you've seen the Netflix documentary Jim and Andy about when he was in Man on the Moon, you see just how in-depth that guy goes with some of his roles. With Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, he takes it to a whole new level. It's an absolute travesty that Jim Carrey was not Oscar nominated for his performance in this movie. Kate Winslet, his co-star, was nominated but didn't win her award, which again is a huge shame because Kate Winslet, fantastic actor, been in some great movies, been in some great romantic movies, but this one is on a whole different level, and her chemistry with Jim Carrey, fantastic. I don't want to give away too much about the story, because I want people to go and enjoy this movie not knowing too much about it if you haven't seen it. Go into it with very little expectations, although I've put it in top 5 so your expectations are going up, but I went into it knowing nothing about it, other than Jim Carrey's in it. So I thought to myself, it must be really funny. No, it does have its comedic elements, but this is very much a dramatic performance from Jim Carrey. A fantastic performance, an unexpected performance. An Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, personally, is one of the greatest movies I've ever watched. And I hope you will give it a chance and experience the greatness. And then let me know in the comments just how great you thought it was. And if you didn't think it was great. Moving on. Number 4 is a very poignant and important movie in the history of humanity. Big claim. Big claim. And it's also the final Steven Spielberg movie on this list. We featured many Spielberg movies on the list so far, but this one was a phenomenal film, a phenomenal story based on real events with an important historical significance. This movie is Schindler's List. The Schindler's List, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil anything about it because you need to go watch this movie. Of course, the events in the movie are based around some of the worst events that ever happened to humanity. Fantastic direction, fantastic story, fantastic filmmaking, great performance from Liam Neeson, and a must-watch movie. Now, we're into the serious waters because we're down to the final 3. The final 3, the 3 greatest movies ever made. Number 3 on the list is a Frank Darabont movie. Made in 1994. The film stars Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins as Andy Dufresne. That movie, of course, is The Shawshank Redemption. Considered by many people to be the best film ever made. It's only number 3 on this list, but it's a damn good movie. And 3 out of 100 is a pretty good score. Bronze medal. Fantastic. Frank Darabont, of course, has featured on the list before with his fantastic movie The Green Mile. But he stepped it up to a whole new level, even though this movie came before the other one. Definitely Frank Darabont's best work, and just happens to be one of the greatest movies ever made. The movie, as you can tell from the title, is about a Shawshank who's redeemed. Wait, that's not right. Shawshank Redemption. Is there anybody that hasn't seen Shawshank Redemption? I'm not going to go tell you to go watch it because you've probably seen it if you haven't seen it. We have so far only featured one movie from the 40s, from 1942 to be precise. That movie was Casablanca. Well, number 2 on the list comes from even earlier. Number 2 on the list comes from 1941. That means this movie's very old. This movie was made in the middle of World War II. So was Casablanca. But number 2 was directed and starred Orson Welles. You may already realise that movie is Citizen Kane. A movie which is almost 80 years old is still held in such high esteem by filmmakers, film lovers, film critics, filmographers, loads of people in film. Everybody knows what a great movie Citizen Kane was. It's a classic movie. It's in black and white. If you don't like black and white films, I've said this before, some people out there don't like black and white films. I don't know why. You have to give these movies a chance and you'll find some amazing, amazing movies as we featured on the list. Narrowly missing out on the number one spot. It was a very tough choice to put this second. It was a very, very close contender for the number one spot, as was Shawshank. This will be the final time I say this on the list, but if you have not seen Citizen Kane, it is simply a must-watch movie. You can't go through life without seeing Citizen Kane. It simply must be seen. Whether you're a filmmaker, a film lover, or a casual person who likes flickering images on a screen, whether you break it down as a TV series and watch it in small bite-sized chunks like YouTube videos, or you watch it all the way through, I guarantee you will love Citizen Kane. I just hope they don't butcher it with a remake sometime. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone all the way from number 100 all the way down the list to number 2, which leaves 1. We've listed 99 movies, all in search of the greatest movie ever made. So it's time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the number 1 movie on MovieFilm's 100 Greatest Movies list is